It's apparently really important that we protect people's arbitrary right to discriminate against gay people based on their self-professed religious belief, because Indiana Republicans are pushing a new legislation which could become the law, as some say it is likely that it will become the law, which would allow business owners to refuse service to same-sex couples. We've seen this across the country. We've heard about the anti-gay bakery. We've heard about all the stuff. And now the Republican-controlled Indiana House of Representatives approved a measure yesterday on a 63-31 vote, basically down party lines, with the exception of 5 Republicans that joined 26 Democrats in opposing the bill. And the Senate already approved a slightly different version of this bill last month, and Governor Mike Pence has already said he would sign the legislation. What are we talking about? It's Senate Bill 101, which would prevent state and local governments from, quote, listen to this, substantially burdening a person's free exercise of religion unless the government can prove that it has a compelling interest to do so, and that it is doing so in the least restrictive means possible. Supporters say this is going to protect religious individuals and religious business owners who have strong religious beliefs from government intrusion. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Your religious beliefs should not impact whether you can opt out of parts of the law or have special allowances under the law. And opponents of this obviously say it is going to allow for discrimination, particularly against gays and lesbians. Quote from Minority Leader Scott Pelath, a Democrat from Michigan City. It basically says to a group of people, you're second rate. You don't matter. And if you walk into my store, I don't have to serve you. And it is exactly that. It is saying, under the guise of protecting religious beliefs, based on certain characteristics, you can be discriminated against, right? So there are certain classes of people, and I use the term class in the legal sense, not in the kind of colloquial, some people are better than others. Certain classes of people can't be discriminated against in spite of someone's religious beliefs. But what is going to be created here is a class of people, particularly gay, lesbian individuals, who can be discriminated against if someone's religious beliefs dictate or indicate that that discrimination is appropriate. And it's disgusting, Lewis.
And it seems like this is the only instance in which crazy religious beliefs are deemed acceptable or are, protected by law, because I can't think of any other situation in which that's happening. And can you imagine if one of these Christians who supports this bill walked into an Indiana store and was told by the owners, we're not going to serve you because we don't serve Christians? They would go berserk.
Imagine that you're part of a religion or you're not even part of a religion. You're just an atheist. And you say, we don't serve Christians here because it violates our beliefs. It's actually a bad example because atheism would not be a protected religious group. So it's a terrible example. Let's say you were Buddhist and you say, we don't serve Christians here because our religious values are completely antithetical to Christian values, and we just don't serve Christians here. It would be a war on Christians, which we've heard for close to a decade at this point.
Yeah, they even consider people in the LGBT community standing up to them a war against Christianity.
Bruce Borders, who's a Republican congressman from Jasonville, Indiana, spoke about an anesthesiologist who didn't want to anesthetize a woman in preparation for an abortion, saying that according to the Bible, he should not be forced to do that. And it's such a terrible example to show why we need this law, or why Indiana needs this law. Abortion, if it is a legal medical procedure, and you're an anesthesiologist and you're not prepared to participate in whatever legal medical procedure a doctor is performing, maybe it's not the right job for you.
I would say so. And, we talk about slippery slope arguments. This really is one. If you start giving people this type of preferential treatment for their religions or their crazy religious beliefs, I mean, where does it end? The Bible also says that we should kill homosexuals, right?
Absolutely. And we try to not jump towards slippery slopes when they are just fear mongering. And in this particular case, it's very easy to see how this would actually become precedent for all sorts of discrimination based on so-called sincerely held religious beliefs.